So now what we want to do is we want to make some changes to it. Okay, so the first example of what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my Excel spreadsheet. Okay, so I'm going to open up my drawing list and I'm going to add to it. Okay, and again, this is where I think it gets really easy, is that I can just click and drag into a series of fields, and Excel is smart enough to figure out that that's a formula. Okay, that basically this is a series that I want to define, and so it's going to continue that series. And that's why I like to work with Excel a little bit better, because it's a little bit easier in that way. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add modified plan to the drawing names, and I'm going to hit save and close out of my data link. And what should pop up, as you can see here, is that when it recognizes that your data link has been saved, you can click on this bubble in order to update your data link. Now this is the one issue with it, in that when you add cells, okay, to the Excel spreadsheet, it tends to kind of screw up in the formatting of it. Okay, so what we need to make sure that before we insert this as a data link, okay, that all of our cells, okay, are essentially accounted for, because every time we insert, okay, or sorry, not insert, but every time we save and we update the Excel spreadsheet file and we insert new rows, okay, according to that, okay, in addition to what we already had defined, it's going to kind of screw up like this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say A5 and just account for, you know, all of the pages that I might have. Okay, so I'm going to hit save. And what I can do is, if this is updated, okay, I can click on that and it'll add to it. What I can do is, in order to fix this formatting, okay, I can either select all my table. Okay, but you'll notice that when I mouse over it, there's a little lock and a link. And what that does is every time you do this, okay, and anytime you do this and have a data link, what it does is it actually locks the table. So I'm going to go to unlocked, okay, and I can actually start to work with these cells. Okay, so I can actually, you know, change the font of this, or what I can do is I can click into the field above and you'll see that there's a match cell, and a lot of times this works. Okay, you'll see that it didn't there. So this is where, you know, AutoCAD tables tend to get a little picky, and that's, you know, why I don't really prefer them all that much. If you just want to say, you know what, I'm just going to start from scratch, okay, I can delete this table. I can go into my table, my insert table dialog here, and I can just insert it again. Okay, sometimes that's just a little bit faster than having to go through all the formatting of it. Okay, so you'll see that now I have all that information in Excel. Okay, if I go back to my Excel spreadsheet and I go into my list and I change it, so detail of modified plan for A3, save, exit out of Excel, this should pop up. Okay, you'll see that it now updates it. So what it does is it maintains that link and it updates that. Now what I can also do is I can first unlock, okay, my table, and I can go into this and I can change the information, and I can actually save this to my Excel spreadsheet. Now to do that, I have to type in data link update. Okay, and it gives me two options. One is update the data link, and one is the write data link. Update the data link works the same way as this notification bubble. So basically, if I click on that, what it does is it allows me to select the table, okay, hit enter, and it'll update it. Now what I did is I actually modified this table. So what I want to do is I don't want to do that, okay, because it's going to override that modification. So instead, I'm going to type in, sorry, data link update, and I'm going to go to write data link. And what that does is it writes the information from my table to the Excel spreadsheet. So now when I go to click on the table, it's asking me to select my objects. I'm going to click on my table, hit enter, okay, and go back to my Excel spreadsheet. you'll see that now it has recorded that change. So the nice thing about it, you know, in addition to working with Excel and this being a little bit faster, is that I can either work in AutoCAD and make changes and it updates the Excel spreadsheet, or what I can do is I can take the Excel spreadsheet and I can change it, and then it'll update the AutoCAD table. So that's why that's my preferred method. I find it to be, you know, it's not without its issues, but it's a very seamless way of working with Excel.